Yeah, it's your boy AG, Cornerman Boxing. I'm here with my man Edgar Berlanga Jr. You know,
It's goody.
outstanding trainer coming up in the game.
Facts.
He's worked with some great talent, helped develop. But I'll let you speak on it, Coach. First of all, how you doing today? And thank you for your time, man.
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Right, so just let the fans know a little bit more about, some of the guys you've worked with in the game, some of the things you've done.
So I came up in Miami, Florida when I was a teenager. I started boxing when I was like 10, 11 years old. I won the Golden Gloves, Silver Gloves, Junior Olympics. Like I won all the junior championships out there. And then, I grew up. I did my thing. My life happened. Had kids, and I never turned pro. I had 46 amateur fights, 43 wins. I mean, I did all right for myself. I was talented, and as I got older, I joined the military.
Wow.
Yeah, did that, went that route, and then I decided, when I got out the military, I came back to boxing, stepped in the gym and started helping my coach out. My coach, who trained many world champions, his name was Dave Clark.
Wow.
There in Miami. And I just kind of like started picking his brain. I learned everything from him, from the basics to what I am now. And I owe it all to him. God rest his soul. He passed away a couple years back, but if not for him, I would definitely not be here.
Wow.
And I'm originally from New York. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, and then I moved back here maybe like 10 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And I jumped right back into the gym. Started training fighters, picked up a few guys, and we went from there here today.
Wow. So you've been involved in the sport of boxing pretty much almost your whole life.
I started in 1992.
Okay.
So,
and what led you to have that passion for the sport? What got you into it? What made you love it?
My father, I would say, even though he wasn't really a fighter, but he was a fan, and my uncles, like, we saw every big fight was either in my house or my uncle's house. So, I got to see like some of the all-time greats from the 80s, from, when I was a kid. I remember the first day I fell in love with boxing was January 22nd, 1988.
Wow, what was
because
that day?
That was Mike Tyson versus Larry Holmes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I remember I sat on my dad's lap, we watched the fight. I was like 7 years old. And when they said, from Brooklyn, New York, I was like, whoa, shit, Mike Tyson. So yeah, that was it. I kind of fell in love with Tyson from there. And then my love for it took off. I wanted to watch every fight, every fight. So I remember when Hagler and Leonard was happening. I was probably around the same age. And that was a big deal. I remember my dad like mad hype. And I was just like hyped with him, damn, I gotta see this, And that was it, man. It was just my passion took off from there, and I just wanted to do it ever since.
Right, and that was a great time. You had so many great legends back then. Yeah, seriously, man.
Facts.
Who are some of your favorite fighters that you grew up, other than Mike Tyson and Sugar Ray that you really...
I'll tell you right now, my top few is, I would say, Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker, James Lights Out Tony, the Body Snatcher, Mike McCallum.
Nice.
And Terrible Terry Norris.
Wow.
I love those guys, man. Those guys, they had a part in raising me. And of course, I gotta say, Felix Tito Trinidad. So, because I'm Puerto Rican, so I stick with the greatest Puerto Rican fighter ever.
Tito Trinidad,
yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Speaking of Trinidad, he was out there with a Berlanga recently, who you also worked with as well.
Yeah, correct. I helped that guy out. I trained him for a little while when he was a teenager up until he turned pro. And that was a great time in my life, man. I owe that kid a lot. He introduced me to a lot of people. Well, we both got introduced to a lot of people together, as we were working. And I'm forever indebted to him and his father, Edgar Sr., for giving me the opportunity to train that young man and teach him, what I know and what I have in my head.
Right.
And I feel like, I still, I did my part, and I was a part of that puzzle for him where he's at today, 15-0, 15 first round knockouts, beautiful thing, and he's blowing up right now. So very proud of him and very proud of what we accomplished in the ring together. And I hope he fucking makes it to the top and is one of the greatest ever.
Nice.
Which is what my prediction of him was when he was a kid,
Right.
He knows that. we spoke about it many times. You know, we still speak about it. I think he's gonna be amazing, and people have no idea like what he really is. They only think he has a punch, and his boxing ability is even better than his punching ability.
Wow.
And people have no idea yet. So when that happens, they're gonna be mind blown because the kid could box.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we don't get to see it because he's taking them out in the first round,
facts,
but soon we'll find out.
Facts.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right, and I mean, you also are currently working with Harley Mederos, I believe, a 17-time national champion. You know, what's just that experience been like for you? Because that's another heavy hitter coming through the ranks,
facts,
man. Like,
facts. I got a big bomber there, but that again, another great opportunity for me. I'm indebted to him and his father as well. His father, Edgar Berlanga Jr. They gave me the chance to train him and teach him what I know, and it's working. You know, alongside with my partner, Yoel Judah.
Wow.
You know, I get to sit side by side with him and pick his brain now. You know, so you know, in boxing we're always learning. You know, I always say that if you're not learning, then you're dead in the water, because you know this sport is going to continue to evolve and keep moving, and if you're not learning from the OGs and you're not picking their brain, then you're behind, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for me to have Yoel Judah, you know, who's the father of Zab Judah, that people don't, if you don't know, you know, he's been teaching me for the last, I would say, you know, year and a half that we've been working together, and I'm super grateful to him. You know, he's a legend in the sport, a legend in Brooklyn, and I'm grateful to have him in my corner.
Wow, that's amazing, right? And I mean,
Absolutely.
you also you're training your son as well, right? He's
Yeah.
coming through the amateur ranks, you know, Malito Jr.
Yeah, which is also great that I have Yoel in my corner, because he worked with his son. You know what I mean? He made him a world champion, an undisputed world champion in the welterweight division. You know, and to have him like that, and he helps me with my son as well. I'm like, it's a dream for me right now.
Real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so grateful to be in this position in my life and in boxing. I can't ask for more right now. You know what I mean? It's just been working in my favor. I guess, you know, it's all glories to God, man, because without God, this would not be possible at all.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I prayed for this. I prayed for this when I had nothing, when I was dead broke, when I was, you know, I was grinding out there, like trying to make it, and I felt like there was no end in sight. You know, I didn't see no light at the end of the tunnel, but I just kept coming to the gym, kept working, you know, and now, like, God is starting to, you know, to show me He's been working the whole time, you know, and everything is coming into fruition, especially through my son, you know.
Wow.
And I just hope, you know, and pray that it continues and we can continue going this route and make it big, man. We're doing this for legacy, you know, nothing more. You do it for legacy, everything comes with it. The money, the houses, the cars, everything comes with it. If you do it for that, you're failing yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're cheating yourself. So we're doing it for legacy, we're doing it to be great, and we hope to be there soon.
Right. Now, I mean, like you said, you know, we always try to pick trainers' brains, so that's why we know we thank you so much for your time. You know, we know you're a very knowledgeable trainer.
Yeah,
going back to what you said of the gym being an escape from reality, sometimes like a sanctuary.
Yeah.
Can you just touch on that and how that can help, you know, help kids stay out of trouble and things like that?
Absolutely, man. Boxing saved my life, you know, and it saved pretty much everybody in here's life too. You know, if you speak to them, you know, to anybody one-on-one that's been in a boxing gym, they'll tell you the same thing. You know, it keeps you off the streets, and it kind of is like a stress reliever. You know what I'm saying? You go in, you get to hit the heavy bags, whatever was bothering you throughout that day. You come to the gym, you let it all out on the bag, and you always feel better, you know? And it's just the camaraderie of having everybody around you too, in a boxing gym where, you know, you're all there for the same reason, you know? Some might be doing it for bigger reasons, you know, for world titles and whatnot, like we spoke about. Other people do it just to work out. Other people do it because it's hopes and dreams and they, you know, they want to somehow make it, you know? But we all there doing the same thing. And that kind of love and that kind of like, that kind of motivates you in life, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you get in that ring. If you do spar or get in there in the gym, you can do anything in life once you do that. Because that's like one of the hardest things to do. Go out there in front of people and it's just you and another man in there trying to kill each other, you know what I'm saying?
Right, it's crazy.
You get out of that alive, you are grateful for life, you know what I'm saying?
Sir.
And you kind of look at things differently and you say, you know what, it ain't that bad out here, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I owe boxing, you know, an in that aspect. I hold boxing,
right?
And everybody else does too. You know, that's the one thing I always say is like, when you're a fighter, you decide this is what you want to do with your life. You have to respect the sport of boxing first, you know. And I heard Andre Ward say that before. Like, if you don't respect boxing, then get the hell out of it, because this sport can really change you. You know what I'm saying? Or it can make or break you, right? So like, if you don't respect, you come in here, you don't really train, and then you go in there and you think you're gonna do something, you're not. There's no lying in that ring. You know what I'm saying? That the truth will always come out.
For real.
So, and we see that a lot, right?
Correct.
So, in that aspect, you gotta respect boxing. You gotta come into it like serious. Know you want to train hard. Take it serious, because your life is on the line in there. And you know, unfortunately, we've lost a few guys in the past few years. And you know, some of those guys did take boxing seriously. That's how serious it is. Of
course, yeah.
So if you don't take it serious, you're in a whole heap of trouble.
Right, because as you told me before, man, off camera is the hurt business, man.
That's right. It's a fact. It's the hurt business.
Right.
So,
now, what kind of advice would you have for the youth, you know, to stay motivated and stay out of trouble? What would you tell them?
like I said, find a passion. Find something you love, you know, whether it's boxing or not. It could be anything. It could be art, you know, you could be an artist, drawing, painting. You know, you could be a runner, just exercising, you know, playing ball. I mean, you could rap, you could sing, you could play a piano, play an instrument. Do something to keep your mind busy, but always stay busy. Don't stay stagnant. Don't be on your phone all day. Don't be in your house just watching TV all day, be a couch potato. You know what I mean? Don't be like these other journalists, not like AG, but like everybody else that sits on the couch and says, oh, this guy sucks or whatever. Nah, go out there and try it. My man AG comes in here, he tries it, he does his thing, right? Do that. Don't be a bum. You know what I mean? We got a saying in boxing with certain guys, they're bums. Don't be a bum.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, champ. Now, as far as from a boxing aspect, what kind of advice would you have for young fighters? You know, what should they be doing in order to develop and become successful in the sport?
Hard work, man. Just perfect your craft. Every day. You know, boxing is a lifestyle. Boxing is not like, you know, you come here and you train for an hour or two and you go home and you forget about it. You know, come in here, work your ass off, wake up early, eat right, run early. You know what I mean? Run early. Do your strength and conditioning, get a coach, build a team, you know, and build the right team. Put all the pieces of the puzzle together before you feel like you could step out there and actually do it. And then work your ass off non-stop. Be the hardest worker in the room, from sun up to sun down. And then when the sun is going down, when you sit your ass on that couch, put on YouTube and watch some old fights.
Right, that's
study,
important.
because it doesn't end, man. This life doesn't end. You gotta study. You gotta pick some guys that you like, maybe somebody that emulates your style or you emulate their style, and you go out there and you work on it. You see the little things that they do. Study, man. This fight game is no joke.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right, Coach. That was awesome, man. Thank you so much for the insight, Coach. I mean, this is going to be the first of many, man. We love giving recognition, you know, to the guys behind the scenes that might not get all the attention from all these other journalists.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, because they're not there really seeing the work that gets put in, man.
Facts,
you know, we thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
God bless
AG Cornerman Boxing. Watch out.
Coach, before we let you go, though, where can we follow you and stuff for the fans that might not be familiar?
You can follow me on Instagram, Eric_Roman_SR for senior.
Correct.
So that's Eric Roman Senior.
All right, and you have any final shout outs before we let you go?
I just want to shout out my fighters. Harley Mederos will be fighting soon in December. We're going down to the U.S. Nationals, and then from there, sky's the limit. Malito Roman, my son, we're going to the same tournament. You know, from there, this is his journey. You know, going to get some experience. Whatever happens. Amateur boxing, you know, I'm not putting too much into it, except for the hard work.
All right.
I want to shout out Edgar Berlanga was fighting December 12th.
Right.
I believe in MGM. Hopefully they get somebody in there that, you know, could take his shot so he can show the world what he could really do.
For real.
I want to shout out my man Edgar Bermudez.
Oh, shout out to him. I know my
little
man
brother
Kike.
too.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Heavy hitter.
Yeah, facts. And then, you know, I want to shout out my mom. I love you, Mom. Mwah.
God bless, Coach. Thank you so much. Peace. We coming.